Hello, it's Rebirth Legend here. We're going to be taking a look at a Medusa replay today with our good friend. What the hell's your name? Let's see. Medusa. Robitigan. Let's tab down real quick. We'll take a look at the post game and specifically what his problem was. Playing against Omni Dazzle, PA Venomancer Storm as Medusa with an uncooperative team. How do you do it? Alright. So you rushed a Diffusal Blade, or got it reasonably fast. Slow them to escape a Total Legion or Silver Edge against PA, and she went and bought a Blink against the Shadow Blade. There go Lincoln Sphere against PA and Storm. This turned out to be a mistake. It's good you recognize that. I should have rushed a Diffusal. Not actually what you should have done, most likely. So there's a couple ways you could have done this. There's a couple ways you can play this. You're not the worst Diffusal carrier. It's just like when you go really stat heavy, you can then maybe justify Manta, but I don't think Medusa is really a hero who wants a Manta because Split Shot is horrible with Manta illusions. So when you build like a Diffusal, Manta, Scotty, Lincoln's, B-Fly, did I get all the items there? Diffusal, Lincoln, Scotty, B-Fly, Manta. Yeah, like that'll give you a lot of stats and your illusions will do okay, but like what does purging anything really do? The problem with getting a Manta on Medusa, which I know it's kind of an offshoot from what we're really talking about. The problem with getting a Manta on her is it has like it reduces your EHP because when you use the Manta illusions, you take some of your some of your mana. So it basically like negates in terms of giving you EHP there if you use the Manta active. The Manta illusions don't particularly do that much damage because they go through 2 phases of reduction when you're using Split Shot. It can be okay. I usually fucking hate it. But let's check this out and see what you could have done. So what we're gonna look at, we'll go back and look at the game real quick again, and we'll look at the progression. So a game that I'd say is like unwinnable is one that's not really like your team's only down 3,800. Like your first 11 minutes went fine. You only start getting behind 15 minutes, 20 minutes. See, honestly, this isn't even that bad. Okay, 20 minutes. Oh, there we go. 19 minutes. Yeah, like that's really not that bad of a disadvantage. Like, yeah, that spikes there a little bit, but that's really not that bad. 10k is getting kind of bad, but like 5k is not like insurmountable. This game was never really at a point not where it wasn't winnable until probably here, which is I imagine where you got mega or lost the 2 sets or whatever. So we're going to look at what you could have done in the laning phase, what your objectives are in the game, how you should have itemized, and what you could have done. Having an uncooperative team can be difficult, but Medusa is definitely a hero where, as long as you don't get completely rolled in the early game, playing her correctly can result in you getting a whole lot out of the lane. So you end up in like you end up laning against an Omni Knight. And a Veno? I thought it was just an Omni Knight. Yeah, this really isn't that bad. So, when you're in lane like this, I think you want to, like, you definitely want to level Snake. You always max Snake first. Just to generally go over how I play this, and it's a little different compared to how I see a lot of pros play it. You always max Snake first, is what you usually see. And I see a lot of pros max Mana Shield second. I don't. I get 1 level in Mana Shield, and then I max Split Shot. So I end up 4-4-1. And I don't even skill my ult until I have both of these maxed. Because honestly, you don't really have a huge mana pool. The reason you do that is because Split Shot's going to let you flash farm from about, if the lane allows it, probably about 6 minutes onward. Maybe 8 minutes. Basically, once you hit level like 6 or 7, you can flash farm pretty easily. Once you have 2 points in Split Shot, you're hitting 3 targets at a time. There's not many camps that have more creeps than 3. And those that do, your Mystic Snake's gonna annihilate anyway, so that's okay. So that's really why you want to do that. And the reason I suggest doing that is because it lets you farm very quickly and excel into your itemization. In a game like this where there's a PA, I think a Hurricane Pike is definitely something you want. And I know Omni Knight can be a bit annoying, and that's kind of why you got the Diffusal Blade, but realistically, you don't need it. So, if you're big enough, Repel doesn't matter. You don't do magic damage, so Repel doesn't mean shit. The only thing that does matter is the Guardian Angel, which kind of fucks you up a bit because you're doing no physical damage now. So your counter to that spell, it's on a 160-second cooldown, is Stone Gaze on a 90-second cooldown. So if you guys don't manage to pick the Omni Knight and he gets a good GA off, all you do is hit the Stone Gaze button, And basically, they have the same duration, more or less. It's very, very close in time. 8 seconds versus 7 seconds, not counting his ags. You can even get a stone gaze duration. Oh, that's a stun duration, not the length duration. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so you can, what was it? Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. So yeah, anytime he ults, you can just ult and it pretty much negates his ult, because while they want to be face rushing you, now they can't because Stone Gaze is up. So it's going to enable you to retreat anytime you want if a fight's really going south. Stone Gaze is also a great tool to let you TP out even if you don't have a Lincoln Sphere. Let's talk about why the Lincoln Sphere is bad in this game. It gets procced very fucking easily by Stifling Dagger and doesn't really block anything. If you're choosing to get a Lincoln Sphere, there has to be a really, really big spell you need to block. An example could be Doom, I guess. I think really the only situation where I do get it would be against an anti-mage, which already sucks if you're playing Medusa against AM, because you just want to kill yourself. I guess it could be okay against something like an LC too. It's optional. I got one against an LC in a recent game, and it was kind of fine. Really no big deal. I just got it because, you know, their stat item, I didn't feel like getting a B-Fly because my team already had so much evasion, so I was like, ah, fuck it, we'll stack on more stats with a Lincoln Sphere, and we'll avoid that duel. I just forced the halberd out from him. So overall, I just think, like, you really need a good justification to get a Lincoln's over a Scotty. They're very, very comparable items, Lincolns and Scotty. Let's see, Lincolns, there we go. They're comparable items in terms of cost. Maybe about 900 more for the Scotty. The build-up's a little shittier on the Scotty. Actually, it's quite a bit shittier. But what it gives you is way more in terms of combat effectiveness. It gives you the kiting. It gives you better... the term shouldn't be EHP. It gives you better man-fight ability against someone like a PA, because when you get that attack speed slow on her, that's giving you more survivability. It's also giving you a little more armor. It gives you about 1.5 more armor than everything else. Overall, this item is just significantly stronger than Lincoln's unless you need to block one ability, which seems obvious because that's the only thing Lincoln's really does, right? Some people get it because of the regeneration, like, oh, it's really nice because I get to regen while moving, but you don't need it as long as you're farming correctly. You don't really need that regen. I feel like too many people look at that regen as like a crutch and a reason to get Lincolns. When, like, if you're playing correctly and you have, like, a Hurricane Pike, the 3 regen is, like, more than enough, and the occasional trip to a shrine will keep you pretty much full HP and everything. So we're getting kind of a lot into just, like, general itemization theory right now, so I'm going to try and go back into just checking out this game here. So you're in the off lane instead of the safe lane. It probably doesn't matter too much. The only thing that's going to kind of suck is, remember I said you can start flash farming? It's harder to flash farm from the off lane because these camps are inherently more risky than farming the camps up here. But it's still okay. Overall, this lane really shouldn't be bad for you. One laning tip here. Wand is basically core on Medusa. Anyone who doesn't get it doesn't understand what the hero does. So a wand gives you an HP and a mana burst when you pop it, right? What gives Medusa survivability? HP and mana, because she has Spell Shield. Anything that gives her a boost in, like, mana gives her a huge boost in her survivability, right? Like, I usually rush a wand, and then I just, like, 5-man when I have, like, Treads Wand, Aquila, Dragonlance, and I just group and I start just going because she's so strong at that point, so survivable, and just so good. You're kind of rushing the phase boots here. The stick is really good because, as you saw, this Venom's spamming wards right now. Holy shit, he's got a lot of strength missing. He's probably got like 200 HP. Yep, kind of. Yeah, so that's just free stick charges right there. Alternatively, if you're getting harassed in a lane, let's say if you're against like a drow or someone who has like more range than you, I think you're, no, you are 600 range. I thought you were a little bit below, but yeah, like if you're against someone who has higher range than you, then having that ring of regen will help you deal with that level of harass, or just anyone who's harassing you. It'll help you deal with that harass. Getting a casual ring of regen is okay because, once again, it built into your Hurricane Pike, which, since a Hurricane Pike gives you Agi for damage, it gives you strength for survivability, and gives you int, which, once again, for Medusa turns into survivability, is really, really good. And in a game against a PA, it's exceptionally good because she blink strikes you, you Hurricane Pike her, or you force staff yourself away if she's BKB'd or repelled, and then all of a sudden you're back in position to be able to fight without dealing with that person bursting you the fuck down. It's a very, 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 very strong item on Medusa. Exceedingly strong. And its build-up is incredible. Particularly, like, the versatility that the Ring of Regen gives you. I almost always get the Ring of Regen for the laning. You don't really need any mana items because Mystic Snake will take care of all your mana needs as long as you use it smart. So let's look at how you lane this here. All right, gotta keep poking him. You should back up a little bit. Get the last hit. Keep poking him. Just keep poking that Omni Knight. So what your goal should be is you want to get rid of the creeps and you want to keep trying to bounce snakes at them. If you get the opportunity to bounce a snake off of like both range creeps, your dying's a little cray. Okay, see, like that snake basically paid for itself almost. I didn't get 2 on there. But like your goal should be to bounce a snake here in 2, right into that Omni Knight. Does the Venom not come back? Did he just give the fuck up? I think he did. Yeah, the Venom just gave up, so you're basically in like a 2v1 now. Once you're in this 1v1, man, that kind of sucks. That's really annoying. But you have a shrine, so life's okay. Right now, once it becomes a one-on-one, I don't know how well your Undying is listening. I would just tell him to get the fuck out of the lane. Right now, it's really important that you try and communicate with your team the best you can, and you just make sure this Undying does not come back. This is a one-on-one you should absolutely obliterate him in, because the only thing that can really bother you is if you do like a really greedy snake, and he's able to get a repel off while the snake animation is going through. This is a lower MMR game. It really shouldn't be that much of a problem. You should be able to completely brutalize him. The way you can mitigate something like that, instead of doing a max range snake, you go right next to the creep wave and you bounce the snake right next to it, and that mitigates the amount of time he'll have to respawn. If you get someone who has really good reflexes, because he's dodged like 2 snakes already, you go reasonably close to him and you bounce it right off of him directly. So he doesn't have that response time where it's bouncing off the other creeps. But you should really completely dominate this lane going forward. And we're going to see how you do here. Because Snake should ensure that you get a ton of farm. Which we're doing okay. Yeah, we're doing okay right now. It's not really okay. It's nearly 3 minutes. It's just comparatively everyone else is doing quite poorly. But yeah, so you should completely start dominating this lane. He has the Soul Ring, but like whatever, who cares? He's gonna take away his HP, and like even if you're not taking his mana with the snake, you're gonna just crush his HP pool, because each time you bounce like a snake off of all the creeps and hit him, it's an enormous nuke. It increases by I think like what, like 40 per bounce or something. Mana steal damage increase 35% per bounce. Yeah, so it's like 70 the first bounce. That gets to be a fucking huge nuke. I'm too lazy to do that math, but it has to approach like 500 damage. It's a lot. It's a fucking lot. So let's watch how we play this. Right now, you should be autoing the creeps down. Your goal should be always to. So let's look at our snake bounces. Right now, our snake goes from 3, 4, 5 to 6 bounces. Your goal needs to be to get the creeps in a position where you can chuck a snake and it'll bounce off all the creeps and hit him. In this particular case, you can throw. If you threw a snake at these 2 ranged, it'll also hit him. Most likely. Bounces are fucking weird, I'll be honest. But I'm pretty sure if you threw a snake here, it's going to go boom, 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 and then come back to you. So you should be using a snake right now to harass him. Based off how the positioning of the wave is, you should totally be able to get away with it, put some good chip on him, and get your mana back to full. Because it's 2 range creeps in him. He's got half mana, so yeah, it's going to be a reasonable amount of mana. So let's resume. Let's see what we do here. We don't go for the snake, alright? Your Undying comes back. Once again, if you can get him to listen, kick him the fuck out. Either way, you want to be, like I said, you're just sitting here, like, moving around, waiting for this creep to, like, set up, or this thing to set up. If you think you're going to miss that creep there, let's go back here. You should know right now that this tower is not going to enable you to get this last hit. It's right here. You should know right now one last hit's not getting that because your auto attack's not high enough, but your snake damage is high enough. So you should snake this right now just because you can. It's going to get you that last hit. It'll probably set that one up, and it'll get you some of your mana back because it's going to hit 4, so you'll get some of the mana back from the range creep. Since it's going to go a triple bounce and the 4th one into there, you're going to get a fair amount of your mana back. I don't think you're going to get it all back, but you're going to get a fair amount. So it's definitely worth doing that to secure that last hit and get that mana back from the range creep. You can't be missing free creeps just because of whatever. You can also finish an Aquila here, which would be really good. So we missed that creep. We're going to miss another creep. So we missed 2 creeps there. I think you might get this one. Yeah, we get that one. You're probably going to miss this one. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you missed that. But I'm welcome to being wrong. You can buy a stick here too if you want, but you don't need to. A quick talk about phase versus treads. I think it's really a preference thing. I almost always get treads. The way I play Medusa is, like I said, I get treads, Aquila, Wand, Dragonlance, and I fucking go. I'm there grouping, I'm pushing, I'm getting objectives, I'm getting towers, I'm fighting. I don't play Medusa like I'm going to sit there for 40 minutes and farm. I get out there and I fucking just start boxing. That's really how you want to play, because Stonegates is amazingly strong. And when you got like backup support, like maybe a Blink Tiny or an Undying or an LC or a Sand King to counter initiate, they're going to be scared shitless to like push into that, because you got Stonegates, you got Epicenter, you got Blink Toss combos, you got Tombstone, you got heals for days. It is so scary to fight into your lineup right now as theirs, because like what do they have there? Storm, who wants to get pickoffs, he can't do that into a 5-man. Particularly early on before he's really got items up. You got a Veno who wants to get a good ult off, but if your team's sitting behind you, he's not going to be able to get a good ult off. Maybe he'll ult you, but if like you die and your whole team wins the fight and takes a tower, that's a win. You know, as long as your team obviously also wins the fight. But like it puts it so the focus is on killing you, a hero that is exceptionally hard to kill at that point in the game. Because while you might only be sitting at like 900, 1,000 HP, something like that, your physical, what's what I'm looking for. Your ability to withstand damage is very, very high due to mana shield. It's very, very deceptive. So when they go on you, it's a huge fucking gamble. And what's really even great is, even if this Dazzle skills Weave doesn't fucking work against mana shield. Mana shield's like, oh man, I can't remember the number, but it's probably changed over time because they changed the mana per whatever the fuck. Or they changed the percentage per mana or whatever. But it's like equivalent when you're burning through mana of like 25 armor or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to go look it up. I don't care to do the math on it. But yeah, it's functionally like having like 25 armor, which Weave, armor down, none of that is fucking effective against. So it's really, really strong against that. But yeah, so that's generally how you want to play. So that's why I get the treads. The phase is kind of good for positioning. It can help you win a lane more against someone like an Omni, because he can be annoying if he levels his degen and runs at you, which you experienced a little earlier. At this point in the game, it's not really... I don't think it really matters, honestly. Like I've seen phase boots save Medusas too. I went for a kill on a Medusa and she lived because she was able to phase away. She lived with like 3 HP. If she had treads there, she was dead. But you know, it really just is a preference thing. There's situations where one could be better than the other. I don't think you can go wrong with treads, and I don't think you can really go wrong with phase. Just to beat the dead horse, it's a preference thing. But yeah, we need to be getting more out of our lane right now. Like, it's a fucking Omni Knight, and you're not a hero who should be getting bodied by an Omni Knight. Here, once again, he just walked past, he set up a snake. Just kill this melee right now. Oh, no, we got him there. Sick, look, see? He fucked up. He used his repel, hit no one with it. Or, sorry, he used his purification, hit no one, just healed himself, and wasted all of his mana. That's great. You should probably finish your Aquila before finishing those boots, but that's just how I play. I mean, what I mean by finishing the boots is brown boots are fine if you need the positioning. The Aquila gives you a lot more damage, particularly if you're struggling with last hits. So you should keep pushing this down. And once again, you can keep your Aquila on and you just keep pushing this tower. In this 1v1, like, the only reason... I've talked about this before, but the only reason to hold the lane position statically and not, like, push it is to deny experience to, like, an offlaner who's being zoned out. Once there's not an offlaner to be zoned out, like, this Omni's, like, level probably 5 right now or something, right? Oh, no, I've been going through this really slow. He's level 4 or whatever, and you have nothing that really zones him out and nothing that's going to keep him away from the creep wave, so there's no incentive to hold the creep wave. So you should really just be pushing, getting as much chip damage on this tower. And when you're doing that, it's also going to open up your ability to jungle his hard camp and jungle his easy camp in between pushing the wave. Once again, we should be autoing down. There we go. See, look, you've just fucked his day up. That guy could have dropped a tombstone and killed him, but he chose not to. Because he doesn't have tombstone leveled. Alright. There it is. There it is, team. Cool. So, like, right now, if you had an Aquila, you could actually do a lot more damage on this tower. Because that tower would take, like, an additional hit per thing. Here you should be... Yeah, I don't like the spell shield thing. Here you should be Mystic Snaking this. There you go, that's good. Go finish off that range. Yeah, you were just barely in range. I was pretty sure you were in range when it drew aggro, because you were like right here as it killed the creep closest to you, so it aggroed to you, even though you walked back. I kind of thought it wouldn't for a second, but that's life. Once again, we auto this down. Leveling your spell shield here is really bad, because you're in a lane that's basically free farm. You're not worried about getting ganked. You're not really worried about too much. Like, what's their Storm going to rotate on you when you're basically full HP? It really doesn't matter. And you're also kind of getting low here, so this is the situation where I'd recommend the casual Ring of Regen. Just because it makes you much more efficient. The other reason I don't like leveling Spell Shield here is because a lot of the times I'm going to have it off when I'm jungling, or I'm going to toggle it on and off. And the reason I toggle it on and off is because I want my HP to go down somewhat, and I want my mana to maintain at a certain level, because I want to keep using my Ring of Regen efficiently. So I want it to constantly be regenning me, but I don't want to lose too much HP, and I don't want to always have full mana. So based off the camps you're running into, you have to toggle your Spell Shield on and off. So when you get caught by, like, a Storm who's, like, pulling you or something, and let's say they have, like, a Lion or something like that to follow up stun, like, there's a chance your Spell Shield could be off if you don't see that coming, at which point it's useless. But the split shot's always going to be useful because it's going to accelerate, it's going to minimize the amount of time you're in vulnerable positions because it's going to help you push waves more. So yeah, I completely disagree with this. I know pros, like I said, I think they generally do max their Spell Shield. I think in a pub game where you have to play for maximum greed and maximum personal impact, it's really bad because you're gimping your ability to flash farm. Like, horribly gimping. Oh yeah, so what I was saying about the Aquila is it's going to add an extra shot to each one of your creep deaths. You got to back up here. Okay, good. Yeah, it's going to add another shot to each one of your creep deaths. What the fuck is this idiot doing? I don't know what to say to that. You should bounce a snake here. Never mind. Oh, you're out of mana for a snake. Yeah, that's no Aquila problems right there. That's also really nice, too, because when you get too low to afford your snake, having that extra Aquila regen is really, really nice. I think the low-cost items are just way too efficient on Medusa early on. Like, usually in a hard carry, you want to, like, go for the big-ticket items. Medusa's not one of them, just because of how much you can contribute with just, like, little shit. Oh, slayed him. See, he just felt the wrath of the Mystic Snake there. That guy's fucking dead as shit. Does he not have his dagger leveled? Oh, he's once again level 4. I keep getting thrown off by this. Well, you might have saved your friend, but at what price? He used your shrine already because he's a dickhead. Let's see the time on it. 30 seconds. Could be worth trying to wait that one out. Yeah, I think it's worth waiting it out. You can just, once again, if you had your Ring of Regen here, that'd be really helpful because then you could definitely wait out that shrine. And here it's just a little awkward because you don't really want to walk up into that. So you should be blocking your creep wave to, like, kind of pull it back right now. I understand not wanting to go to the shrine. Or not wanting to go back to base here. Actually, yeah, that's a good option too. You could have jungled one of these camps, get your rune, jungle a camp, come back and your shrine's up, and then you're good to lane again. We're just wasting time here, honestly. This is really bad. Like, you ran over to here. You're too weak to show in this lane right now. Like, that PA blink strikes on you, and then gets purification, and you're dead. Because that fucking hurts. So this thing's up now. But I want to stress, you want to use your time efficiently. So, like, when you walked over here, I wasn't really thinking about it, but this is a really good idea that you didn't go on. When you walked over here to get your bounty, you could have farmed this out, gotten really low on your HP, because, fuck, they're not going to have a ward here, it doesn't matter. You farm out one of these camps, doesn't matter which one, come over here when you're at probably, like, 70 HP, you just shrine back up to full, boom, you're back in the lane without wasting time walking back to base, wasting money on a TP, or whatever, you know? So we're back into lane. The reason I want to stress, like, little things like that is because, like, the little things are fucking additive, right? Like, over time, the little things are going to make, like, a huge difference in a game. That's amazing. Like if I point out... Okay, this is stupid, too. The only reason you want to turn an Aquila off is when you're trying to lane control. That's why it has a toggle button. Because when you're trying to hold a static lane... Once the laning phase breaks down, i.e. like post 10 minutes, or once you start aggressively pushing a lane, there's zero reason to have your Aquila off. All it's going to do is make your creeps die quicker under tower. That's like a huge pet peeve of mine. Even when you're playing at like 4 or 5k games, you still see people who like default leave their Aquila off for like no fucking reason, and it makes zero sense at all. It's really stupid. Oh, get a big snake. Cool. So, that's good. You kicked him out of lane. Maybe? It's really risky for him to stick around here. Alright, cool. You're going to get the tower here. It's big. Big plays. Big plays. We don't get the last hit on the tower. That kind of sucks. I'm also really bad at that. This dude's a fucking madman. Like, I was actually commending you for not going for this dive, so I'm going to kind of explain a concept here. And this isn't your fault, this is the Undying being a fucking idiot, but, there's like a spot where this kill ends, and I'm going to point out exactly where that is. When you force a hero into a situation where, like, he can soul ring and he can heal himself, and he's still not going to feel comfortable in this lane because all he did was negate the cost of the soul ring, right? Like, he gained 20 HP by using his soul ring and purification without doing anything. He's not going to feel comfortable in this lane until he's like full HP. So he needs to like sneakily try and get level 6. He really wants this experience. It makes his life really fucking awkward. So he has to kind of go back to base right now or risk coming up and dying. Sometimes it's better to put a hero in this position than it is to actually kill him, because he doesn't have a big streak. He's not really super high leveled. He's worthless. He's like he's the lowest fucking level in the game. It's basically like a safe lane Omni Knight. He's gotten like completely dumpstered. He's completely worthless. So forcing him to walk all the way back to base, heal up, buy a TP back is actually better than killing him, where he just respawns 10 seconds later and then TP's back and might get the last part of this creep wave, right? Like, that's actually, you're sapping more experience from him. It's only getting you guys maybe like 200 gold to kill this guy. And there's a cost going along with that, right? Because as we'll see here, your Undying is going to go for this kill. And he doesn't do it smart. Whatever. He decays him. Does he get the soul rip? Yep, and the soul rip's not enough. And once he committed that soul rip, this is completely over. Right? So this is as good as that kill's getting. You're not running down this fucking guy. And like, now he's pincered. Oh, never mind. You killed the tower, so he's not really pincered. But like, he put himself in a position where he could very easily die here. This guy doesn't have pull. Weird. It's weird skilling. Well, maybe it's not. I thought people usually max overload first. Yeah, so he doesn't actually die there. But, like, that's a kill, like, going for it has a risk of him dying there, right? Like, if that Storm TP'd with a pull, if they had different heroes. And I don't think he's... Like, this is a pretty low skill game, right? Like, I don't think we could say that guy's, like, got the presence of mind to, like, know, like, well, they have a Storm who is only level 8, so or 7. The Storm's only level 7, so the standard Storm build doesn't include an early level in Vortex, and without a pull or a stun, there's a minimal chance of me dying here. Like, no, there's no way he's thinking that, you know? It's too far removed, and you're at too low of an MMR for even that to be like a static idea of someone being that low. Yeah, but let's go into how you play this now, because this is the point where like Medusa should be farming very quickly. This is bad. You leveled Stone Gaze. The opportunity cost of leveling Stone Gaze here, like, once again, Stone Gaze right now has a static cost of 200, no matter what level you are. That's half your mana pool. If you get jumped and you have your spell shield on, odds are you won't even have the mana to use it, because, like, let's say they jump on you with like a storm and a purification. Like, between the storm jump, the pull, the damage he does, and a purification or something, you're gonna lose too much mana to actually even afford your ultimate. So there's like no reason to actually level the Stone Gaze until you're like level 10 and you want to group. At that point, sometimes you can use it preemptively and it can be good, but like, you need to just be itemizing for farm right now. So once again, you're not investing in like the cheap good items. You should have a wand right now. Wand Dragonlance. Just straight rushing this Lincoln's is completely useless. So, like, while you could say your team played poorly in this game, which your post seems to heavily imply, there are definitely things we pointed out already where you should have way more. Like, right now, in my standard Medusa game, even in a tough lane, like, I'd probably have, like, 50, 60 creeps in, like, a hard lane. And in a good lane, I'd have significantly more. See, like, what did the Stone Gaze even do? I don't think you're getting that kill. He could just walk over and buy a TP. Or he can not, or he can just completely walk away. Oh, actually, yeah, you know what? He made the mistake of putting that stupid thing on. There's no tower here. All he had to do is walk to the side shop. He could have TP'd out. Oh, that guy's playing with fire right now. Yeah, now the fucking cavalry comes and your Undying feeds. Like, see, this is another thing. Like if you look what this Stone Gaze led you to do, it led you to below 200 mana, which now doesn't go to your spell shield. It put you in a situation where you try running down an Omni Knight. Like, once again, this useless, horrible Omni Knight who's like the least valuable player in this game right now. Maybe next to your Undying. But they're in the running, right? The most useless hero in the game The most underleveled hero in the game. The most underfarmed hero in the game. Yep, by far. That you just got completely out of position for. Lost tons of your mana, lost tons of your HP, and like for what? For nothing. And you might even die here for this. But like this has an opportunity cost, right? Like the time you spent looking for that kill could be time you could have spent using split shot to farm these camps, transition into middle, push this back out, transition into your jungle, farm that, maybe use that shrine if you're still low or something. But like there's so many things you could be doing right now instead of getting either killed or nearly killed. And like this whole thing stemmed from you leveling Stone Gaze, right? It's really bad. Oh, you got crit there, so you're proud. Oh, never mind. We have a our personal Jesus here. Nope, no personal Jesus because he didn't come in with the heal. What a dick. Because he doesn't have heal. Alright, that's life apparently. That's life of a DDPA. Sometimes you just gotta fucking crit people into the ground. But don't get me wrong, you got a little unlucky. If she didn't get that first crit, she probably can't commit to that dive here unless she's retarded. But like once again, you want to play for like minimal. If you're aiming to carry in like really fucking any game, honestly, maybe up to like 6K or fucking whatever. Like minimizing situations where things can go against you is like a very good way to play. So by AFK farming here instead of dying, it's much safer than like committing for like stupid kills and stupid fights where like a DD and a luck-based crit kills you. Like a luck-based crit isn't going to kill you if you're farming the jungle there, right? And it doesn't make sense. Like, you can let that PA have her DD, farm out the jungle, push the lane up, you hit her with a snake, ruin her fucking day, and then farm the creep wave under your tower, while having also utilized your jungle and your ancients. So like those are that's like the opportunity cost you're missing here, and it's something I think a lot of people won't consider, won't take into account, but it's like a incredibly important difference here. Alright. And like we said, the Lincolns here was a bad idea. Scotty was the play. Or, sorry, Dragonlance. Or I'd say full-on Wand Hurricane Pike into Scotty is what you wanted. Like we said, your ultimate's going to be enough to deal with the Omni Knight ultimate. Particularly since his Omni Knight's a mile behind you. You'll probably hit level 12 and he's still level like 7. So your ult timings will actually completely match up for how long they last. Your magic damage is really, really good against the PA as long as the repel's not on there. And he has to choose, right? Like, he can only have repel on one of them. Repel got heavily nerfed. It has like a... Oh my god, it's even worse than I remembered. When the fuck? Does he have a cooldown thing or something? Shit, that sucks. It used to be like only like 3 seconds or something, where like repel wasn't up. It was like lasts for 10 seconds or 12 at one point, and like a 14-second cooldown. It was ridiculous. And they fucking put that spell into the ground because it was stupid as hell. So now it only lasts 7 seconds with an 18-second cooldown, which is almost like a 1/3 uptime, right? So there's going to be plenty of windows for you to abuse, like them not having repel. And while your idiot LC could get a silver edge, like, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, you should have MKB in your natural itemization anyway, so you shouldn't need to depend on him to kill her. You just have to not be behind, but you're already putting yourself in a position where you're going to be very behind. So we're going to accelerate this because I feel like at this point, you've made so many critical errors at this point that there's so many things you can work on here that would improve this game and put it into a much more winnable position. Because like let's look at this. Radiant's up 1k, and if you played correctly, your team should be up by like 2k, I think. I think it's reasonable for you to, well, maybe not 3k more gold. Let's see what your net worth is. You're at 3k? Yeah, I think you could probably have at least 2,000 more gold right now if you were playing well. Because you could easily have 30 more creeps right now. You could have 1 less death. Which is totally reasonable if you prioritize split shot over more than 1 level in spell shield and stone gaze. Because like I said, you do not need stone gaze really at all until you're like level 10 or 11. You kind of want to just get it as soon as you get your Dragonlance, which is when you're grouping with everybody. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna accelerate this. We're gonna see what we're doing. We're standing around too much. That should, like, at this point in the game, like, we're past laning phase. when you're at a creep wave, you're auto-attacking that fucking creep wave, and you're getting all the last hits you can get while auto-attacking it. Everything has to be done, like, as fast as possible. It's a game of, like, speed and momentum, right? Like, you can't go sit at a creep wave, wait for your creeps to get it into range. Like, no, you fucking get there, you huck a snake at this bitch, and you start auto-attacking down the range creep. The range creep's the first to go. Then you start attacking the melee creep that your creeps were targeting. The snake got kind of low, and you take down that entire fucking creep wave in, like, 3 seconds. You cannot sit at a creep wave for 10 seconds, because you sitting there meant that you didn't farm these 2 camps. So now you're moving back towards your ancients, I guess? Like, where are we going here? We're going to get a bounty rune? Really? Look, how much fucking gold is that just now? Like, let's look at this. Walked all the way over here. We got 74 gold. Like, there's one creep over here that's worth more than 74 gold. Fuck. Give me a free camera. Yeah, fuck. And this can't... Oh, no. Okay, yeah, this creep's worth 112 gold. And these creeps are worth giving you your entire mana pool back. It's great. There's, like, no reason to do that. So, like, you rotated towards mid and you're not doing anything. Like, you should... Like, right now, in a typical game, I would be probably almost done with my Dragonlance and being ready to group. But you're so far from even, like, your first big item. And you don't really want to group too much without your first big item. It's a little weird. Like, look how slow this camp's going. Let's look at this. Medusa rolls up, 1310. We start attacking this camp, right? Okay, 1310. He helps you out a little bit there. What a guy. It took you 30 seconds to kill a fucking mud golem camp, right? If you have your split shot leveled, what you do is you auto attack both mud golems down really, really low. You use your mystic snake on one of them. It kills that one, bounces to the other one, kills that one, then bounces across all 4 little dudes and kills it all at once and gives you a stupid amount of mana, because those mud golems each have like 400 or 600 mana or something. So that camp's actually amazing. You can kill it pretty quickly as long as you have at least 1 level in split shot, right? Because we only need to hit 2 targets, really. Yeah, and 1 level in split shot makes that camp go almost, probably more than twice as fast, honestly. You should have that camp done in 10 seconds or something, and it took you 30 seconds. And you didn't even use your Mystic Snake on it, even though Mystic Snake pays for itself on that camp, like, 3-fold. You use 170 mana, and you're probably getting back 600 mana, 700 mana. It's a lot. It's a lot of mana you get back from that camp. What was my other thing? Oh, I kind of didn't get into this before, but one of the reasons I get treads is because what you do is you toggle to int treads, you cast your Mystic Snake, toggle back to agi treads or strength treads, and it gives you more back for your snake while making your snake cost less. So I kind of like that from an efficiency standpoint. That's one of the big reasons I do get treads, because it helps you with Mystic Snake jungling. That, I just... No, I didn't say it before. I think it was really, really good. When the fuck is this girl coming over? I didn't think I'd have time to even make this whole damn video. But we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Where the fuck are we? Where's our Medusa at? Back to player perspective. Pushing this out. You see everyone's top? We should be pushing here. Throw this snake out. Yeah, fuck yeah. Patiently get that down. See, if you have split shot, like, you just keep going there, and it's so much easier. But you should even be looking to fight here. Like, you didn't even look at this the whole time. Like, I mean, it's good you looked at the minimap and you knew you should push here, but, like, your team... Well, actually, I guess your team's not really there. Yeah, okay, you got 1 dead and 2 aren't there. So, yeah, that's over. I don't know if you guys communicated that or what, but it's totally fine to split push here. Now you see your team's not responding, and you might even be able to make this trade. You do have your Quillons, so I give you commends for that. There's people who leave it off the whole fucking game until they sell it. It's just like, oh, you're retarded. Okay, whew. Whew. So once again, we still don't have a level in split shot, which is going to drastically slow our farming, drastically slow our progression. Like, it's so important because by having more levels in split shot, and by having your snake maxed, it's going to make you level a lot quicker, because the more creeps you kill, the more experience you get, the more gold you get, the more levels you get, the more items you get, which lets you kill more creeps. Like it's like a positive feedback loop, I believe is the term, right? Because the more creeps you kill, the more gold you get. The more gold you get, the more items you get, the more creeps you can kill, and the faster you can kill them. And the more creeps you kill, the more experience you get, the more levels you get, the more stats you get, the more creeps you can kill, right? Like it's a positive feedback loop. So the best way you can itemize when you're playing on a somewhat greedy hero like Medusa is what's gonna let me like snowball and kill as many creeps as possible. Like One thing I get criticized by my friends for, I'm a really shitty Luna player. But I think some of the best Luna games I have is when I start 0-4-4. Now that sounds fucking retarded, and the reason is because it is fucking retarded, and if you're playing Luna, you should generally be team fighting. But if you're willing to split push very heavy, and you get like a mom go 0-4-4, and then just rat super hard, like I will have my level 2 ult with my maxed out Q maybe like 2 minutes after I would have had it. No, not even. I'll have my level 2 ult maxed out Q. Yeah, okay. So I'll have my level 2 ult with my maxed out Q. Maybe 2 minutes after I would have had I gone 4-1-1, right? And the reason for that is because the 0-4-4 enables me to creep much, much, much faster. Like an outrageous amount faster. So I'm going to have a huge level advantage, and I'll eventually get my levels to invest in my my Lucent Beam and my ultimate just by having the 0-4-4 and letting me farm. So while like on paper, and like, don't get me wrong, you're gonna get fucking judged in games. Like I said, I have friends who fucking judge me for it, even though I don't think I've lost when we've done it, because it plays into like my strengths as a carry, and yeah, it plays into my strengths as a carry, and like I don't think it actually throws off your timings too much. And if you're in a lane where you don't have like safe lane farm, like where the offlaner is being zoned out, then there's no, like I said, there's no reason to hold a lane if you're not zoning out an offlaner. So once the lane's not being held, you just go 0-4-4, you fucking just keep pushing that lane, and then the offlaner gets harassed by you having glaives. So they get fucking annoyed and get low HP all the time just by you creeping, without actually even needing to put effort into it. No mana maintaining, no anything, just straight farming. But yeah, so like that's something you really have to think about, because like right now, you're level 10, while their Veno, who transitioned to the jungle, is level fucking 11. But if you just flash farm correctly, you should be at like 100 and, what are we at right now? We're at 70 creeps right now? Is that what you? Yeah, that is you. You're at 70 creeps. Like at this point, like I said, when we were at like 10 minutes into the game, I would have only had maybe 20 more creeps than you. But 5 minutes later, I would have had over double your creeps right now, because you have 70, and I could easily, in a game like this, I could have had like 130, 140 creeps even, by utilizing the space, because like you haven't really had too many people bothering you. You cut away the death and you start farming efficiently, you could easily have 130, 140 creeps right now. Because Medusa farms really fast. Like, people don't respect how fast a Medusa can put creeps on a map. I'll send you the recent Medusa game I played too, so you can look at it, because it's literally everything I just said. I think I had like, I don't remember what the hell my lane was. I know I just shit all over the game pretty much. It was actually a pretty close game, but whatever. Let's look at this. Split farming, toggling stuff, dealing with this stupid snake. You're dying as like an idiot is running towards him. We'll never know why. He can just die there. Like, the Veno is so high leveled. You motherfucker. Sorry, I need to respond to text. This is priority 1. Priority 1 to getting your dick wet. Priority 2, Dota. Alright. Oh shit, we got team fights going on here. Let's see how this shit goes down. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, so just to drive this point home one more time. Hypothetically, if you max split shot first tier, you'd probably already have your spell shield max too, just because of how much it accelerates your farm, which accelerates your experience and your gold gain, right? So you'd already have your mana shield maxed out and your split shot maxed out because of what split shot enables you to do, which spell shield does not. So we see our team getting into a fight over here. We casually finish our creep camp and walk over. Your team's actually doing really well in this fight, and you get to come here and clean up. What the fuck did we just do? How was that not a kill? Okay, that was fucking stupid. You had a kill here. If you just walked up and snaked right now, you just got like 2 kills. But walking up, standing still, starting your ult, and then running at them, like, you actually want them to fight you here. Because, like, you're super tanky right now. You walk up and you throw one snake here, you basically just got, like, 3 kills. Instead, you ult, you run forward. We don't throw a snake yet. We still haven't thrown a snake. We still haven't thrown a snake. We're running around in circles, not auto-attacking. Like, do you think you have to look at them? That's not how Stone Gaze works. It's them looking at you. You were like, oh, let me look at this Venomancer and make sure he's fucking whatever. Just make sure he turns to stone. Do you even... Oh my god, this was horrible, man. I don't even know what more we can watch here. This is painful. Is everyone gonna die here? Do you guys even get a kill? Because if you don't get it, this team fight's literally your entire fault. Oh my god, you didn't put your spell... Okay, now we got spell shield on. When crits drive the fucking point, you're done here. Okay, this fight was horrible, and I can say that this is 110% your fault. Like 100%. We're gonna go back, we're gonna watch the entire thing, we're gonna go over this, and then we're gonna end this video. Because, you have done so much wrong at this point in the game. So if we're paying attention, which we're not, right? You should see that there's a fight converging on our tower. I don't know if your team's communicating, but you should be aware of things happening on your minimap. You're farming this camp. Do you even have a TP? You don't have a TP. That's another problem. You really always need to have a TP. It's never okay not to have a TP. It's retarded not to have a TP. I cannot beat that dead horse enough. So you have to run over here. If you ran over here 2 seconds earlier, you turn this fight. If you walk up and you play this fight correctly, you turn this fight. There's so many things you mess up here that just cause you to lose this fight. Like let's look at how many auto attacks we get in this beginning, because I don't even think you auto attack until like 6 seconds after you get here. We walk up, we pop our ultimate, still no E up. We run around in circles. Oh, let's count it. We're gonna put the clock on. We're gonna embarrass you here. I mean that in the nicest way, really. All right, ult Stone Gaze 52. No auto attacks yet. Wait, no, that was a snake. Oh, we got an auto attack. So it was what, 51 we said? So it was like 9 seconds into this team fight before you auto attack someone. Like, you're Medusa with phase boots. You auto attack. You do the most damage in the game right now, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The PA doesn't even do as much damage as you. Yeah, you by far do the most damage in the game right now. You walked into a fight, completely butchered it. Oh god. Let's look at this fight before you get here. Oh yeah, your team comes flying in here. Okay, so you see, they're fighting on a shrine, and it sucks. This is the reason that fight was so close, because they chose to fight here on a shrine. And a shrine is bad news bears. You don't fight on shrines. Although, this guy seemed to have wasted the shrine for his own selfish being, not knowing there would be a fight. See, like, if you TP'd in, like, right when the rest of your team TP'd in, that could have been a perfectly valid Stone Gaze. All this Stone Gaze does is tell everyone to run away and not surround you. While if you get them to surround you with Stone Gaze and Mystic Snake up, you fucking just murder everything. But, oh man, that was so bad. That was so bad. Like, I'm not trying to... People tell me I'm like, too much of a dick in these videos. I'm really not trying to be a dick. I just need to stress, like, how much... Like, because in your post, like, let's tab down and look at this. Like, you really blamed your team here a lot. Every team fight, as you might expect, went to complete shit. My team just kept fucking taking them. Ami and Dazzle keep PA. Nice save while she destroys our team thanks to all the slows. No mistake. I told our Legion to rush Silreg. She went Blink instead of Shadowway. I thought I'd go first. Item Lincoln Sphere against PA and Storm. Turned out to be a mistake. Should have rushed Diffusal Blade. What else do I do here? And we could see, we're only 18 minutes into this game, and you completely misplayed your lane. You, in my opinion, messed up your skill build. As I've given the rationale for, and I think it's very, very solid rationale. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. I would literally argue with anyone on that, and I think the only time where I could be wrong is in like a pro scene context. I think your itemization is poor. Not having a wand is retarded on Medusa. It's the most efficient item you could ever get on that hero. Like, it's the most efficient item you can get on any hero, and on Medusa, it's like 3 times as efficient. It is so fucking good. think your itemization was bad. So we have your decision making going for kills was bad. That led to you dying the first time. We have the way you push the lanes and the way you control lanes being bad. We had your itemization being bad. We had your post, I'll say 8-minute decision making on how to creep being bad. There was that time where you like walked from bottom lane all the way to your bounty to get it, instead of farming the 2 jungle camps here and pushing this further when I believe you knew that their team wasn't nearby. Which is just horribly inefficient. There's no excuse for that. Because the further you push this, they'll eventually have to respond, which will open up space for your team and open up more space for you to justify farming more. There's just so many problems here. And then, like honestly, like you botching this fight is like where your team falls behind, right? Let's watch this again. Oh, we're already in the fight. Like, if you turn this fight, like, if you played this fight correctly, this game's an even match. With you guys probably ahead, honestly. But instead you let, like, Omni Knights sustain and bring them back into this ridiculous fight. Yeah. Just a shit show. Is he gonna die too? Oh my god. No Craggy for you. Oh, not leveled because he's completely under-leveled. Alright, so we're going to end this here. I really think there's an absurd amount for you to work on here. You're more than welcome to send me other replays. You play another Medusa game, you want to take a look at it. I'd highly recommend taking the advice I gave you. I'll also send you the link to my other Medusa game that I just recently played. The replay is from like a day or two ago. It should be live. You should be able to look at it, and you can see how I play like the early game farming. I mean, I played from the safe lane, you played from the off lane. It really doesn't change too much. You can see the fundamentals of what I do, and honestly, it's really not hard to replicate. You just have to get in the habit of doing the things that I did in the game. Anyway, so we're gonna end it here. I hope it was helpful. I hope I didn't come off as too negative, since people do complain that I come off as an asshole. See, they just totally threw this fight here too. Easy duel victory. All they had to do is back up here and like Roche, because she probably has her yeah, she had her Deso basically done. You just back up Roche and they could have won the game easy, but like you can always trust that people will make bad decisions, right? What a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. Oh, let's watch this again, guys. Let's watch this again. LC, I got 1 HP. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Get this Omni. Oh shit, a range creep. Priceless. Priceless. But yeah, so like one thing I really want to stress is that you really have to like make sure that you're the X factor in games, right? Like the only constant factor in your games is that you're playing them, right? So you can be you're the differing impact in your games, right? If you improve, then your MMR improves and your game should improve, right? So you need to be the change in your games. Like, you can blame your team and talk about how bad they play. They took team fights they shouldn't have, but like, there's clearly multiple things you could have done to improve it, and you always want to focus on what you can do to improve, and not really look at what what your team did to fuck up, right? I can look at even like my most perfect games, right? Like the Medusa game I could link you. I could watch that Medusa game and see a ton of fuck ups that I made. Like, I think I died like 2 times in it, maybe 3. I think the first death was like a real fuck up. And I think even the second death was stupid. And it made that game way closer than it had to be. But yeah, so like I said, we're going to end this here. I hope it was helpful. Hopefully I don't come off as too negative. I'm a very friendly, nice person. I mean it all in jest. Yep. Yep. Go ahead and click the stop recording button.